Hi everyone, a little bit of a different video today. I want to start sharing a few more of my personal experiences with gambling and the progression of my gambling addiction from the very first time I ever sort of experienced any form of gambling to my lowest possible point, and the point at which I decided that enough was enough and that I was going to attempt to enter a form of lasting recovery. It's a bit different, but hopefully it will be interesting, and I think more importantly, hopefully some of it might ring true with you guys, and you may recognise some of the triggers, some of the experiences I've had as things that maybe happened in your life. What I want to talk about today inherently was the very first time that I realised I probably had a bad relationship with gambling. It was the first time where gambling had actually caused what I could say is a problem, a sort of a memorable, notable bump in my life. And it was something relatively insignificant, but retrospectively, it was very significant. And if I could have my time again, it would certainly be something that I would have taken significantly more heed of at the time. As you can see, this is probably going to be quite an emotional topic for me. But yeah, like I say, I know sometimes these sort of shared experiences can help you. So anyway, I hope you're keeping safe, hope you're keeping sane, and just want to throw myself into it. Growing up, I was very much a holiday park child. This wasn't to say that I didn't have more elaborate holidays. I was very fortunate my parents saved a lot so they could take us on holiday every year, me and my sister. But me and her were both very much Butlins kids. We loved it. And we would almost always, if ever asked what we fancied doing for a holiday, we would always say Butlins. So invariably, my poor parents would be dragged along to what was somewhat a less sophisticated Butlins than it is today. Now, probably quite a few years before this experience, I had played fruit machines, the 2p, £2 jackpot, £1.50 jackpot, whatever, fruit machines. They were prevalent in seaside arcades. I didn't live far from the coast, and I never thought of it really as gambling. I guess I didn't really conceptualise what gambling was specifically. To me, it was just watching flashing lights and watching reels go around as a child. I didn't conceptualise it as gambling, and even if I did, I guess I was totally blissfully ignorant of any potential repercussions from this behaviour. You lost a few 10p's worth of 2p coins, and it wasn't really the end of the world. It was just sort of a form of entertainment. This changed on this particular trip to Butlins, and I can't remember, to be completely honest, exactly how old I was. I would be guessing I was probably 10 or 11. Something like that. But my parents, probably after a significantly hectic day of child-based activities, or pestering, or having to go on rides that made them feel quite sick and dizzy, wanted to sort of have a little bit of a chill out. But they gave me and my sister £10 to go to the clubhouse or the entertainment venue or whatever it was called back in the day, to get some Cokes and crisps and all the rest of it, right? And they would come and meet us later on, before the days of mobile phones, and these were a big venue, so I had no idea really how that was going to work. But anyway, that's kind of by the by. But we went into one of the arcades. My sister liked to play the 2p pushes and stuff, so we kind of sort of split the money. And I sort of started playing on a fruit machine, which probably would have been 5p a go back in the day. Anyway, I won't indulge too much in the story. I got involved in chasing, and in the end I lost my £5. I then convinced my sister to give me her £5, or what was remaining of it, and I lost that as well. Now, a £10 loss to someone of that age, while significant, wasn't life-changing. However, what this did mean is that not only had I effectively spoil our evening before it even begun, a topic which I regularly address before weekends in my videos. I'd also put my sister in a situation, because now we couldn't go and enjoy whatever terrible kids-based activities were going on in the clubhouse that evening. Instead, I got very, very emotional. I cried a lot, and I think it was embarrassment. It was the stress of playing. It was obviously the loss of the money. It was the harm I'd caused to the family experience, and it was the humiliation of being unable to control something. It was a very strange feeling, because I think the jackpots were £5 back then, and I wasn't able to stop. You know, if I'd lost my fiver, I might have been able to convince my sister to sub me a couple of quid so I can get a Coke and some crisps or whatever, and we could have carried on, and maybe just sort of told my parents later on, oh well, we spent a few quid in the arcade, and then I'd probably owe my sister a favour or two. But no, I had to go back with me in my highly emotional state, all red-faced and blotchy, which is a state that anyone who watches my emotional videos will have seen me in many times before. And I had to explain what I'd done, to my parents' absolute dismay. You know, money wasn't prolific. Yeah, £10 wasn't, even back then, you know, I'm not that old, it wasn't, you know, life-changing money, but a nice thing they'd done. Obviously, they'd taken us on holiday, they'd given us, you know, a reasonable amount of spending money to go out and enjoy ourselves, and less than an hour later I'm back in floods of tears because I've lost it. I don't come from a particularly big family, and as such, I don't come from a family that has any history of gambling addiction, so I don't think there was a huge amount of understanding, and I don't mean that in any way derogatory to my parents, because they're amazing, but I don't think they understood. Now, as it happens, we managed to kind of in the moment move past it. Like I say, my parents are amazing. They forgave me. We ended up going back out as a family. I remember watching Schwaddy Body, for what it's worth. So yeah, that maybe gives you an idea of the age. And we moved on. But the fact I'm talking about it today, the fact I'm still getting emotional about it today, meant that it was obviously a very significant point. I obviously realised I'd unleashed something in me where I lost control of, I lost control of my actions, so to speak. I wasn't able to rationalise my expenditure. I wasn't able to stop something I'd started, and it's a strange, humbling realisation that you're not really in control of your own actions. And I will put a caveat on that and say, because I don't want to be hypocritical, I'm very much an advocate for personal responsibility. Whatever situation we find ourselves in, whatever path has led us to being in the grip of an addiction, whatever that might be, it is our responsibility to address and deal with our situation, even if it can be proven beyond doubt that it's not our fault. However, I did at that moment feel like I was out of control. Like I say, it's a warning that I wish I'd heeded. It certainly wouldn't be the last time I felt that way, but it was certainly the first time that I had that feeling. And if if you're a gambling addict, or sort of an addict of any kind, or even a casual gambler, that time that you lose money that you shouldn't have done, and you get that feeling. And I mean, I've gone on to experience that many times over the years, but that was the first time, and I'm sure a lot of people watching this video may be able to in some way relate to that. Then maybe you can remember the first time that you realised you'd overdone it. You spent money you shouldn't have spent, or you spent time that you shouldn't have spent. And now a lot of people watching, according to my YouTube analytics, are younger than me. So if you have started experiencing that, trust me, you will continue to do so until you address the cause of the problem. So maybe use my negative experience as a bit of motivation to change the direction with which your relationship with gambling is heading. Not a cheerful video. But like I say, hopefully it'll be relatable. Let me know if you like this sort of story. I nearly called it a story time type video there. How horribly YouTubery is that? But this type of video anyway. And I'm going to finish this with something else very YouTubery and just say, look, if you're not subscribed to the channel and you like my videos, please do subscribe. I think my analytics told me that 70% of people who watch them aren't subscribed. I'll do a famous Phil thing and put a caveat on that and say I don't really care if people are subscribed that much, but it would be nice. Obviously, it's good for my ego. As long as people are watching, though, I mean, it can help people. That's kind of the point. But if you're not subscribed, like I say, give me ego a tickle, give me a little bit of dopamine hit. God knows I don't get as many of them these days, and click the subscribe button. But for now, take care, and sorry if I've just depressed you. But yeah, like I say, let that be a cautionary tale. And if you like these sort of videos, then there might be plenty more cautionary tales to come. Take care for now, guys. Stay safe and sane.